roads we used. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go? How will I know? How will I know? I used to walk these roads with you. Can't remember the last time I went without you. Where do I go? Where do I go from here? Where do I go?
Good evening. How are we all doing on this fine, fabulous, and quite frankly fucking freezing Friday? Are we all doing well? I'm not sure I like this song, but so be it. How's it going? How we doing? How we diddling? I'd like to say something happened today, but it really didn't. Nothing happened. I did chores, did work, got my glasses dirty. I always seem to forget to clean my glasses just before I start, and then it's only until I've got this bloody light in my face that I realise my glasses are dirty. That'll do. Now I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to be playing more Techno Babylon, because I haven't finished it yet, and I really need to finish it, because I've told myself, I promised myself I'm not going to go on to another point and click adventure until I have finished it. So that's what we're going to do. I think, based on time played, I think I'm about halfway or just under halfway through. I think. That's assuming it's about a 10-11 hour game, I suppose. It might not be. So, let's fire the fucker up. There'll be a lot of fur today. Freezing, Friday, fabulous. Forgetful? Forgetful. No, we can't forget forgetful. Right, let's go on to that one and let's turn that off. And there we go, Techno Babylon. I hear they're doing a sequel to Techno Babylon. Babylon 2, funnily enough, in 3D. Wadjet Eye Games' first 3D game. So, that's good. Right, I'm trying to remember where I was in the grand scheme of things last time I played. And I can't. My mind's gone blank. So we'll just... I was in my office, obviously. With... that was the maid. I remember that. It took me ages to solve that maid puzzle. So, we'll do the autosave because it's probably a few seconds before. I just saw some guy look like he walked through the wall. Right. Julio, what are we doing? It should have a previously on, because I cannot remember. I'm solving a crime, I think. Right click, look at left click. Right click, there we go.
I wonder if I can persuade Regis to let us keep her. Got to wait till the AI lab have had their turn analyzing her. Then she's all mine.
Well then. While you know full well that you could accomplish all of the work you need to in a trance suite in your head, Cell insists that most official businesses be carried out on its terminals and travellers for security. Regis seems to think it's just to make it easier for Central to spy on everything you do. Right, cables, can I...
The desk terminals don't have enough bandwidth, so I made a few modifications. All strictly professional, of course.
Right, so you hacked into them.
Nah, I've already got it set up just right.
As if hinting to you, Central has swapped out the data on the Mindjacker case for information on the Baxter murder. You can access any data that might be on the screens more quickly through your own wiring. So I've got my wetware, bolt gun, and I've got my traveller. My contacts, I've got my partner Regis, Central, and none. Let's have a look at the case file. Centralised Emergency Logistics case file, RE 8473-A. Category Class 4 Information Larceny with composite harm to health of individual targets, i.e. mindjacking. Case officers assigned Regis Dr. C, primary, Lau Dr. M, secondary. Outline. Beginning in March 2087, a string of data theft attacks have been carried out within Newton, using a process of a resonant regulation. Words, goddammit. Resonant modulation with subjects' neural wetware. The data contents of individual victims' brains are being destructively removed, with fatal consequences to targets. Victims to date, 18 in Newton, unknown global total. Identity of perpetrator, not known. Subject appears exceptionally skilled at infiltration and may have inside help from larger sponsor. Action. Case specialists Regis and Lau are assigned to compile all available data on Mindjacker's activities, including investigation of latest targets for analysis by Central. Right then. Laser, paper, stone. That's a game. News. Grey goo incident injures 4. Cell firefighters have this afternoon been called to the Hartgill Preparatory School, or Preparatory? Yeah, I've never liked that word. Where the out-of-control growth of a wetware culture has resulted in what euphemistically termed grey goo. Principal Andrew Mtembe issued a statement on behalf of the school expressing relief that Cell had been able to control the outbreak before more damage could be done, and reiterated their policy against bringing wetware into the school. Wetware, so called due to its gelatinous appearance, is the genericized term for a number of nanomechanical products derived from organic structures. Safeguards are in place in commercial wetware to ensure the replication of the material can only occur within secure factory conditions. Hobbyist engineers have on many occasions taken it as a challenge to breach new wetware products and reactivate the material's ability to create more of itself. Such uncontrolled growth becomes dangerous when wetware no longer responds to chemical signals to cease its reproduction. It is believed that tampering with a recreational product was the catalyst for today's incident. While the school has been closed for repairs and decontamination, Cell has reported that 4 students have received only minor injuries and are being treated for burns and contamination. City Coordinator AI Central has stated that the mass has been deactivated and poses no further threat to lives or property within Newton. Scores, Kabaddi. Newton 5th. I don't know if any of you have actually watched Kabaddi. It's a great fun game. Like a sort of handball, cross between handball and volleyball, generally played in India, where they have to basically say kabaddi constantly. It's weird. I used to watch it, but it's good fun. So Newton 55, 37 to the UAE, match in progress. What's the weather like? Currently dry with light outbreaks of rain expected later this evening. Temperature 12 degrees Celsius, 53.6 degrees Fahrenheit. UV index, midday, 7 to 8. Use SPF 30 plus and wear protective clothing. Shiziki says, day and night for staying indoors. So, I guess I'll got to try and solve this Baxter case then. He just keeps covering the camera with tape. You're not sure if he's aware that the terminals on the desks have two-way cameras as well. And they know he's covering them up. It's rare to see Regis working at his desk on a normal night. To him, it feels like he's not getting anything done if he's not out on patrol. Go through his desk, nick some.
Sorry, Regis.
A photograph. Photograph of what?
A physical photograph. The team. February 2067.
Nina, Adam, Eduardo, Gwen, Charlie. Why is Adam crossed out?
Regis is probably the only person I know who'd want his picture on paper. I guess defacing a digital one just isn't the same.
Right. Can I interface with...
Got to wait till the AI lab have had their turn analyzing her. Then she's all mine.
Wet on
Got to wait till the AI lab...
That's a no then.
I don't even know where I'm going. I'd better download the case file Dr. Vargas's assistant sent me.
Right. This is the one. Game. So you have to use my terminal to get power on. Right, what do we have? Vargas, Galatea. Received. Dr. Lau, as authorized by City Systems Administrator Dr. Eduardo Vargas, please find access to the investigation's case files enclosed. If you wish to discuss the case in person with the administrator, please make an appointment beforehand. Right, I'll grab the attachment.
Ow! Hey, what was that?
Loaded case file. Etc, etc. Right, what have we got now? From Regis Charles received Max Lau. Odd thing for him to email me about. Dr. Lau, thank you for the summary of the so-called mind-jacking investigations. It is evident that some of Dr. Regis's talent in investigation has found its way into your work, but please be aware that you need not also emulate his less helpful behavioural patterns. Max, it doesn't matter what Mum said. I don't really understand why you did it either, but I'm not going to judge you. I miss you, and they won't admit it, but Mum and Dad do too. Please come home, Max. That city, that life, it'll change you. Eddie, X. Edward Lau, I'm guessing brother. I have the file I need. That's the mindjacking one, which I read earlier. So what's this extra case file? Category: homicide, breaking and entering, abuse of public office. Case officers assigned: Lau, Dr. M, primary, that's me. Outline: on 11 July 2087, Dr. Adam Baxter, PN 629384, was found dead by co-workers at the Vickerman Tatsumoto Telepresence Laboratory in the Northeast Network. Cell has been contacted and Case Officer Lau M activated for investigation. Victims to date: Baxter, Dr. Adam. That's the one that's scratched out in the photograph. Right, I get it. I don't get it. Got it. Have it. Dr. Baxter, Dr. Adam, former organic computing researcher for City of Newton, recently paroled from rehabilitation sentence. Suspects: Regis, Dr. C. Cell agent. That's the other character. Spouse of Victor Regis, victim of murder by Dr. Baxter. This was detected entering laboratories on 10 July 2007. Oh, of course it was, because the other character was being blackmailed and I had to take a bomb into a building. Right. Put the bomb into the building, blew up a room. That's what killed Baxter, I think. And leaving 128 minutes later. Action. Suspect Charles Regis has been unreachable and has historically demonstrated a high anti-civil behaviour index. With such a strong motive, his apprehension for questioning is a priority. Lau M. assigned to investigate crime scene, Vickerman Pharmaceuticals. Okay, so I've got what I need. Go investigate. Crime scene, that's where it came from. Investigate the crime scene then, I guess. Human Pharmaceutical Laboratories.
Wow, that's a lot of green. Excuse me.
Great, they finally sent someone. You here to get the body out?
Maybe. I'm Max Lau, cell case specialist.
No kidding. I'm the lab director, Dr. Zvidzai Chigwa. Make it quick, I'm busy.
Well, you're the lab director, but what exactly do you do here?
I'm the supervisor for the telepresence factoring labs. Most of it's automatic. I just make sure it's all running like it should.
Sounds like a big responsibility.
It's a lousy job most of the time. TP is where management sticks people they don't want in public-facing roles.
You're not happy with it?
For the last few years, my career has been one disaster after another. I'm just glad it's plateaued into some kind of stability.
What
Tell me
happened?
what happened.
Baxter got killed.
In any more detail.
When we started this afternoon, a whole lot of samples had been tampered with. We tried to call Baxter to find out what the hell was going on in the specimen bank.
And he didn't answer.
He didn't. Turned out the door to the specimen bank was locked too.
You haven't seen the body?
No, not in person, if that's what you mean. We got the camera feed online, but it was obvious that Baxter wasn't going to be coming out.
When did you last see him?
Guess it could have been Wednesday?
So he could have been killed any time in the past 3 days?
I guess, but it wouldn't fit with everything else.
So it's possible that the door is locked from the inside? We won't know until we check it out. What do you do here? What's the place
What's
for?
the purpose of this lab? Plant studies?
Yes and no. It's a TP lab, telepresence. There's a lot of research that's not exactly legal in some countries.
Is it me or is the music
Pretty
quite
much
loud?
everything goes.
Exactly. If someone in the EU needs research done on something hazardous, infectious, or endangered, they send the orders here and we carry out the testing.
What sort of research?
Mostly we make new angiosperms from scratch. That's flowering plants to you.
Gee, thanks. Why would people want new flowers?
Sometimes it's a drug delivery method. The earliest commercial examples were fruit that grew packed with insulin. A lot of new wetware begins its life as engineered fruit too.
Must be awkward if they cross-pollinate in the wild.
And a legal headache. Part of our job is making sure the copy protection works.
Copy protection in plants? Ouch.
Once I've finished these dialogue branches, I'm going to see if I can turn that music down a bit, because the game music is a bit loud.
Aside from yourself, who else works in this laboratory?
There's my intern, Martin Meester, operates the factoring line. If you meet him, it's easy to see why they put him in here. And until recently, there was Dr. Baxter.
You've got a keen mind. What's your take on this?
Hey, I'm not the detective, young lady. You know what I think? I think Regis did what they ought to have done 20 years ago.
Why do you say that?
Seems logical. We've got him coming into the labs on security, then we got him coming out an hour later. When we get here, we've got Baxter's corpse contaminating the specimen bank.
Anything else?
Well, something strange. Since we got in, we keep finding samples that have been tampered with. Looks like he spent his hour here messing up the genomes of our specimens.
That quickly?
If anyone was good enough to do it that fast, it'd be Charlie.
Okay, so you obviously
knew
knew
Regis as
him.
well.
Yeah, I was on a research team with him and his wife back in the 60s. Baxter, too.
You've apparently known him a long time. Does this seem like something Regis would do?
Oh, after what he did to Vicky, I'd have strangled Baxter too. I tell you, if he did do it, I wouldn't blame him one bit.
Do you think he did it, though?
I don't know. He was always kinda shady.
Tell me about it.
They made him do some real awful stuff out in the hot zones.
Such as...
Let's just say his escape led to a whole lot of people being jailed for war crimes.
Right, so let's, what about this other guy that works
Tell me
here?
about Mr. Neester.
He came over from Eurofed on a study program. He's, well, he's young. I guess we were all
Young.
like that in our youth.
Good colleague?
He's all right. He got on board with that annoying Maladist trend. He knows how to follow instructions, so I let him get on with it.
His visa still active?
Dr. Lau, we do not employ undocumented illegals in this lab.
Just have to check. I'm
Yeah,
sure you
bet
understand.
you do.
Tell me about Dr. Baxter.
Oh, he was bad enough to work with in the 60s. As part of his parole, they stuck a governor in his head. Since then, it's like talking to a badly written synthetic.
You don't care for him a great deal,
That man killed Vicky. Frankly, he deserved what he got.
but you still work with him.
He worked for me. It was another part of his parole. Vickerman's management persuaded centralized government that his skills were going to waste in prison. The company wanted him supervised by someone who knew him. Hence, they dragged my sorry ass in.
What did you have him doing?
He organized the specimen bank. It's the kind of thing we could just leave him at for hours on end. Days, sometimes. Really, it could have just been done by the facility's AI, but I had to give him something.
Otherwise, you'd have to talk to him.
Exactly.
Right, this is a huge dialogue branch. Let's stick with it. So what's that you're working
You seem
on?
preoccupied.
That obvious, huh? We found a couple of specimens that Regis tampered with in his hour here. So I gotta run through the catalog and dig out the backups.
Sounds straightforward.
Not when there's 11,000 samples to take. Oh, I could punch Regis for this. Though, I want to shake his hand for Baxter so it kinda evens out.
What
What's the
exactly
dungeon
is wrong with them?
He's used a customized viral vector to add huge amounts of junk DNA to their genomes. These are the last two I found, Medioflorens interensis and Linacia lawsonis.
May I have a look?
Do you think it'll help?
Just a hunch. Huh. Non-binary. Quaternary data string?
What do you mean?
Oh,
Wetware systems are interpreting the genomes of these plants as sections of an audio.
sections of an audio
He's
file.
used the DNA to store information.
You think so?
It's incomplete. The two samples only make up a third of the data, but M and L, my initials. This can't be a coincidence. He's left a message.
What does it say?
Not sure yet. I could probably construct the whole message if I can find where he's hidden the rest of it.
Safe to say it's in the other plants he's engineered. Here, take this. You can sample DNA from the plants around the lab. If you run out of sampling cartridges, you can reload it at this console.
Thanks. How long would it take to sample everything in the lab?
Only a couple of years.
Yeah, we don't have a
Over
couple of years.
11,000
We've got
subjects.
maybe 3 or
Better
4
off looking for
hours.
Specimens that would fill the gaps in the clue he left.
Okay, what
So you
Vargas?
worked with Regis and his wife, as well as Baxter. Did you also work for Dr. Vargas?
That pompous ass? Yeah, I worked for him.
You don't care for him.
He was a competent researcher, but he lives for politics. Everything was always about making the world a better place.
And you don't think it should be better?
It's a nice idea, just not realistic. And what we ended up making, it was... Actually, never mind.
Specimen
What
bank.
happens in the specimen bank?
It's where the samples of plants and growth matrices are stored. There's a huge library of subjects to work with, natural and man-made.
And that's where Baxter worked?
Yeah, it's not exactly taxing. I wanted to see what he could do since they put a governor in him.
You left him to work alone in there?
I'll be honest, he was not a pleasant man to talk to.
Have you found anything else with added genetic data?
As a matter of
I'm just gonna go through
there was a batch of Volcadecia isotria in the growth
the
lab,
And?
dialogue tree till it's
and
done. Then
remember
I can,
exactly which specimen the other was.
if I
do
can lower the
remember
sound and
that.
then carry on.
Flowers, broad leaves, and very, very small fruit.
Okay, what about security?
Facility's CI detect Baxter's vitals suddenly failing. It's a potentially hazardous environment in here.
We were wondering that as well. This afternoon, we noticed the monitoring system in the sample lab was in recursion. All hell broke loose when the CI suddenly realized what had happened.
So either you've got a technical fault with the software or wetware interfacing,
Which is unlikely given how much they cost.
or someone breached the security systems to cover Baxter's murder. That gives me more hope. Regis would have no idea how to do that.
Okay. What's this? Research with the Regises.
What sort of research were you conducting in the 60s?
You mean with Charlie and his wife? You might not believe it, but we were the people behind Central.
Central? The city governing AI Central?
The same. Newton was looking for a coordinator AI. Vargas put together a team, including the new Mr. and Mrs. Regis.
Nuke me. Regis never mentioned anything about this.
It wasn't a happy memory for him. He left after the unpleasantness. We finished the project a few months later.
Huh. Might explain why he hates Central's guts.
What's this message?
Wonder why Regis hid a message inside the DNA of these plants.
DNA's been used as a data storage medium before. Rather than on-off binary, DNA would be quaternary bits. Adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine. If he just left a message on one of the systems, though, or even on paper,
Then someone could have destroyed or erased it. Short of burning down the entire lab, they'd have no way to be sure they destroyed a message hidden like this.
especially since he scrambled so many of the other samples as camouflage.
He needs to make sure it's found, and based on the layout, he wants me to find it.
Is that all?
For now.
Then if you'll excuse me, I'll get back to work.
Right, I'm gonna see if I can just that voice sound volume was really quite high. Beach, the music really low. Huh. Okay, so what is this? A floating drone. A drone lays a finely controlled mist over the delicate specimens.
Better not. It might tell the lab director.
But the gene sequencer, she's given me genome data and DNA. An audio recording made out the data that Regis hid in the lab's specimen's DNA. You must be paranoid. You've always known Regis to be a lot more straightforward when he tries to tell people things. Audio file incomplete. Please add missing sectors to file and try again.
I'm going to need to find where he's hidden the rest of the message before I get any sense out of it.
Got yellow epigeal plants. Epigeal? Can't pronounce it, but let's have a look, see. And the plant specimen the lab's working on.
I'd better not. If I start taking every single specimen, I'll be here for days.
No, didn't she mention... She described a plant, didn't she? And I probably wasn't listening.
Excuse me, Dr. Chigwa?
Make it quick, I'm busy.
Have you found anything else with added genetic data?
As a matter of fact, I have. There was a batch of Orchidaceae isotria in the growth lab, and...
And?
I can't remember exactly which specimen the other was. I do remember that it had blue flowers, broad leaves, and very, very small fruit.
And in the
Is that all?
lab.
For now.
Then if you'll excuse me, I'll get back to work.
Exit. Production lab. Blue
I'd better
plants.
not. If I start taking every single specimen, I'll be here for days.
Let's have a look at them. Large flute. One of the specimens in the lab's the lab's working on. Wrong. Small fruit, broad leaves. Flowers is what we're looking for. That's an airlock.
I
Laser.
have no idea what anything on here means. This is the kind of thing that'd take a cram course in trans ed.
Guess I don't know then. If you don't know, I don't know.
The way out.
Oh, I thought that was the way out.
The way out.
Alright. I'll go this way.
Warning. Security clearance not valid for access to Growth Lab. Vickerman Pharmaceuticals thanks you for your cooperation.
Hey, pharmacy woman,
Excuse me, Dr. Chigwa?
I need to get in.
Be quick, I'm busy.
Can't get into the
I
airlock.
can't get into the airlock.
The airlock and the growth lab are secure areas. We grow potentially hazardous organisms beyond those doors.
I'm trying to conduct an investigation here. Don't make me get a warrant from Central.
I'm sorry, Central would likely agree with us. We can't just give anyone access to the growth lab.
Not even a cell agent?
I'd need a
Told
pretty
me there's
damn
a-
good reason.
You told me there's a flower in there that I need to look at.
Is that all?
For now.
Then if you'll excuse me, I'll get back to work.
Well, that's a bit shitty. I'll go in this way then. Red plants. Lock. Blue vines. Let's have a look at the vines. Broad leaves, blue flowers. Ooh, yes. Let's grab on
I'd
them.
better not. If I start taking every single specimen, I'll be here for days.
That matched the... This blue vines matched her description. Blue flower, broad leaves, small fruit.
I'd better not. If I start taking every single specimen, I'll be here for days.
Production line. Let's have a look at the production line.
I never thought gengineering would be so industrial. It's like a factory line. He looks unconventional. Kids these days. Oh god, I sound like Regis. I didn't realize that gengineering was done with so much tape and wrenches.
Look.
I can't figure out what any of these tools are for.
Take them all.
Hi there.
Utter nonsense loves to laugh.
What now?
My name's Dr. Max Lau. I'm a cell case specialist.
The robot dramatically cleaned a screaming pile of biscuits.
Say what now?
You're not making any sense.
Era of moral crisis, punishment of evil, you may suffer from moral law.
Are you alright?
A fox dramatically sat on a secret arm.
Can I get your name?
Every Thursday, a tribe of domineering braggarts awkwardly smears the ugly fiction monger with horses.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
role at this facility?
The light at the end of the tunnel would die for a grapefruit.
Uh-huh. What happened here?
Camouflage paint likes to take a walk in the park.
I see. I give up.
A fox dramatically sat on a secret arm.
That is incredibly strange. Could that be a cyborg thing?
Wetware's not going to connect with that.
Oh then.
Warning. Secure Vickerman Farm.
A wetware with the airlock. I can.
Warning. Security clearance not.
Come on.
New security profile created. Access granted. Welcome, Dr. Lau.
Thanks.
Right. We have growth lab, dome, id kit,
They've got
pipes.
these pipes everywhere. Better to have it and not need it, I guess.
Take the first aid kit.
This could be useful. Looks like a lot of cartridges for the injector.
Auto injector, isomyl acetate and hydride iron chloride, sodium thiosulfate solution, hydroxy pyruvate isomerase, and I don't know what any of these are. Brodrolatic formulone, other stuff, draculin, epinephrine, potassium chloride and cancel. what they do.
Looks like a lot of cartridges for the injector.
Got the injector, a hypodermic injector gun. It's loaded with isomyl acetate used to test breathing apparatuses. Okay.
Nothing happened.
Maybe I have to come back here and grab one of these cartridges once I know which one to use.
They're pretty serious about preventing contamination.
Oh, we got more pipes.
I don't know what's in them, but they look important.
Plants again.
They're keeping things in here because they're dangerous or unusual. Probably not what I want to be carrying around.
Chamber A. Adoaxaceae penens. Status germination complete. B. Adoaxaceae hispanis. Growth expected as per modification. I need to find the plant that the doctor was referring to earlier. It's going to be in one of these, I'm sure. News Vita vulgaris. Click testing ideal ambient temperatures for new strain. This one. This is the one.
These don't look like any of the others in here. I'll be here for hours if I start taking every single plant I find.
But that's the one she was referring to. My interface with the control panel.
I'll be here for hours if I start taking every single plant I find.
Chamber A. Let's say Isoteria. Status updated version, trademark and copyright, Tifel Labs. This is the one that she was referring to. Oh. Yeah, I just need to do the DNA sample.
I've taken a DNA sample from it.
I don't need to pick up the plant, I just need to take the DNA sample.
It's the DNA sampler Dr. Chigwa gave me. I need to take samples from plants I think Regis hid the rest of his message in.
Right, I getcha. I have to go up and do those blue plants again. I should have paid more attention to her instructions, is what I should have done.
Warning, copyright breach in progress.
Excuse me?
You are not authorized to remove Orchidaceae isotria samples from the growth lab. They are copyrighted property of Typho Labs GmbH. Beginning purge.
Hey, my sample! What did you do?
To prevent theft of intellectual property, gene sequences in your possession have been neutralized. Have a nice day.
Gee, thanks.
Okay.
It's the DNA sampler Dr. Chigwa gave me. I need to take samples from plants I think Regis hid the rest of his message in.
Okay, so that's going to be interesting. How do I get the... How do I get the sample out? Does my where interface with gene sampler or the DNA sampler? Ah, it does. Right, okay. It needs some DNA in there first. think I have figured it out. So, step 1, we sample this sucker.
I've taken a DNA sample from it.
Then we interface with it. It doesn't have any DNA to sample. Hey, but it does. Okay. Not compatible with the data itself stored in your wiring. Not compatible with the data itself stored in your wiring.
It's the DNA sampler Dr. Chigwa gave me. I need to take samples from plants I think Regis hid the rest of his message in.
What do I do with it? Won't let me take it out. Know this.
I'm going to need to find where he's hidden the rest of the message before I get any sense out of it. It's the DNA sampler Dr. Chigwa gave me. I need to take samples from plants I think Regis hid the rest of his message in.
I just sample other things. I need to try and get the DNA out of this room.
Oops.
What does that do?
I don't know what's in them, but they look important. That's not going to fix it.
I don't want to fix it. Figure out what it is.
Warning, copyright breach in progress.
Excuse me?
You are not authorized to remove Orchidaceae isotria samples from the growth lab. They are copyrighted property of Typho Labs GmbH. Beginning purge.
Hey, my sample! What did you do?
To prevent theft of intellectual property, gene sequences in your possession have been neutralized. Have a nice day.
Gee, thanks. Nothing happened.
So perhaps it's something I need to do. These?
Looks like a lot of cartridges for the injector.
One that I've got, that first one, used to test breathing apparatuses.
Looks like
Next one, with iron chloride for acid testing.
looks like a lot.
Cyanide poisoning.
Looks like a lot.
Time for deactivating wetware.
Looks like a lot.
Static thingy. Toxin for microorganisms. I don't think that would be useful at this point. Loaded with this stuff. Doesn't tell me what that stuff's for.
Looks like a lot.
Draculin, a natural anticoagulant found in vampire bats.
Looks like
Nephrin, neurotransmitter hormone. Hear kids take it while trancing.
Looks like a...
Potassium chloride, that sounds like a real thing. Fertilizer, I think someone put it in the wrong box. Yeah, I'm allowed to go back and forth now, but can't take the plant out of the room, and I need to. Do this one first, I guess.
I've taken a DNA sample from it.
If I just DNA sample everything,
I've
see
taken
what
a
happens.
DNA sample from it. I've taken a DNA sample from it.
Okay, and go back outside. Right, we need to use DNA sampler on the gene sequencer.
There's some more. Looks like Regis didn't hide any data in that one. Looks like Regis didn't hide any data in that one.
Filing audio.
I'm going to need to find where he's hidden the rest of the message before I get any sense out of it.
You notice the next bit needs a allow. It's M allow. So the actual names spelt first name M something and then LA. I need something that has a U as its
I'm going to need to
first.
find where he's hidden the rest of the message before I get any sense out of it.
Need a plant that starts with the letter U. May not be the one that I was trying to take away. Check. These both start with A. Still do think this is the one I need. I can't leave the room with it. It's a bit shitty. I've got to figure out a way.
I've taken a DNA sample from it. They're keeping things in here because they're dangerous or unusual. Probably not what I want to be carrying around.
Okay, so how do I get it out? What if I mix the two together?
That's not going to fix it.
I want to fix it. Obviously something
I don't think I can
important.
fix it. Not my field.
Try and leave. The security system will kick in
Warning.
and kill my.
In progress.
Excuse me?
You are not clear.
Hey, my sample! What did you do?
To prevent theft of intellectual property, gene sequence have an
Gee, thanks.
Okay. Turn him off in some way.
Wetware's not going to connect with that. Wetware's not going to connect with that. Wetware's not going to connect with that.
What do we think? I've been to the seed bank.
Oh god, what a mess.
This is where the actual murder has taken place.
Update Central.
What is the situation, Dr. Lau?
Dr. Baxter is certainly dead. He's been decapitated, and not cleanly either.
His head has been removed.
More like destroyed. At a glance, this would be the most likely cause of death. Nothing unusual found on the body, Central. Estimation on time of death?
The climate control in the specimen lab is compromising your senses. Ambient temperature is just above freezing. What is your estimation of the incident, Dr. Lau?
There's too much we can't say for sure. We don't know precisely when Baxter was murdered. We can't even be sure that this was the cause of death.
That is a fair assessment. A clearer picture will no doubt follow the autopsy.
Don't send in anyone yet. I still need to carry out a preliminary.
I understand. Continue your investigation of events surrounding the incident.
Understood. Lau out. I hope I can find something to get Regis off the hook.
Seed bank console, a rail drone. That's about it. Right, now let's have a look at the console. Next stored seed samples for retrieval. It will. Let's have a look. Detail Aphloia theoformis. Undergoing weaponization, specifically targeting pollinating insects. Find Greater Han Republic. Attempts being made to isolate useful genome sections and reduce incidence of fatal consumption side effects. Common oat. New strains are currently in development to cope with rapidly changing European climate. Formerly extinct genus in ginseng family being brought out of extinction. Extinct branch of Acacia being tested for use as contraceptive. Words abortifacient, additive to food. Discovered recently in the Amazon Conservation Zone, A. brasileira, tested for any marketable traits. Edible member of the begonia genus being developed as convenience food modification to increase sugar content. Doing testing to increase volume through water content. The made heliconia plant, tailored as vanity project for current Ecuadorian President Miguel San Marcos. Bed for artificial enhancements in climate survivability. Engineered producer and delivery vector of recreational hallucinogen spark, i.e. spark fruit. Parasitic and extremophilic adaptations of specimen are being targeted for use in other projects. High quality timber. Engineering underway for more uniform cuboid shape. Carpetweed. Fruiting mechanism under modification for use as robust crop. Salt tolerant fragrant shrub, fruit being modified as production delivery mechanism for COX2 inhibitor analgesic. Gemophile found on asteroids and comets. X. Zardi grows dangerously quickly in our atmosphere. Hazard. X chlorophyll, genes controlling non-photosynthetic properties. Garden P, addition of extra nutritional components sourced from other organisms, especially raised protein. Rail drone is empty, no samples have been taken. Okay. Can I interface with the console using my wetware?
I'd better not. It would only take it away and store it somewhere.
No.
Wetware's not going to connect with that.
Okay, so I guess I have to choose a seed bank.
It's some kind of slime. Maybe I should just sample that.
Alright. Away.
I've taken a DNA sample from it.
Good for you. Okay, so please don't tell me I have to sample all of these. None of them start with O.
It's some kind.
Fine, yes, sample.
I've taken a DNA sample from it.
I'm not going to sit here all day sampling all of these. I'll sample 3 and take them out and run through the sequence of it. I need to perhaps be a little more solving.
I've taken
Puzzle
a
solving.
DNA sample from it.
That on there.
Looks
Nothing
like
found
we
in
just
that one.
divided- Looks like Regis didn't hide any data in that one.
Maybe she can help me out.
Excuse me, Dr. Chigwa?
Make it quick, I'm busy.
I tried talking to your intern. It wasn't helpful.
Oh, never mind that. He's got aphasia.
Isn't that treatable?
Oh, yes. He just gave it to himself. It's what the kids are into these days.
Crippling neurological disorders?
Yes and no. Maladism, they call it. They give themselves old diseases. It only lasts about a week each time.
And you let him do that?
He's not public-facing, and as long as it doesn't get in the way of his work. I figure we all did things the old folks thought were stupid back when we were kids.
I need to ask Meester about the tampered specimens. How do I cure his aphasia?
Well, you wouldn't really cure it. He doesn't actually have the disease. It's essentially wetware designed to occupy the Wernicke and Broca regions of the brain. This then produces the symptoms of the disease. That's what they're going for.
I can't wait a week for the
Weird.
wetware to break down.
Find a way to break it down early then. If we've got an emergency contamination, we use hydroxypyruvate isomerase. It's an enzyme that instructs the fabricators in wetware to disassemble themselves.
Aha.
Is that all?
Yes.
Then if you'll excuse me, I'll get back
Okay.
to work.
Told me which of the cartridges for the injector I can use. Well, that was one of the
Looks like a lot
injector
of
cartridges. That one. Time for deactivating wetware. Oops. A long way around, never mind. I can use this on him.
Yeah, Fox dramatically sat on a secret arm.
Really? How interesting.
Bitch questions you injector?
Say that again?
Overpass, did you stick me with an injector? Now I'll have to get my aphasia rechecked. Not cool, man.
Kiddo.
He looks unconventional. Kids these days. Oh god, I sound like Regis.
Well, let's have a chat with him.
Yeah?
Right. I can't get O out of the growth lab.
I need to remove the Orchidaceae isotria sample from the growth room. Thing is, the airlock told me it was copyrighted, then blasted me with gas.
Yeah, that one belongs to T4. They're way touchy about it. Only lab staff are able to remove it for factory.
Could you get the sample for me?
Hey, no way, man. I'm already on 2 strikes for taking stuff out of the lab.
So you could, but you won't.
Sorry, man. Jake already thinks I'm stealing stuff. There's a huge street market for things like spark fruit or cracked wetware.
Right. Let's go through. Oh, right. There's a burst pipe in there.
The pipes in the growth lab are leaking.
Ah, yoke it. Again? Better go fix it before Chiqua starts yelling.
Okay, so he's left.
I never thought engineering would be so industrial. It's like a factory line. According to the labels, these shouldn't be handled without protective gear.
Okay, so do I follow him, maybe? Oh, I know. Take the sample and then put the sample in his box. Let's grab the sample. Suck up one sample. Put the sample in the box.
You better not lose it.
But he's fixed it and he's now going to pick his stuff up and walk out. Follow him out. And then I'll steal it back from him.
Excuse me.
Right, let's have a chat with him now.
I'm CS Dr. Lau. I've been tasked with this investigation.
Martin Easter. I've been tasked with the factoring lab.
You work with Dr. Chigwa?
I work for Chiqua. I'm just the intern. Means I get stuck with all the lousy jobs she won't do.
I understand. I was an intern once.
So, what's CS? You a detective?
Case specialist. So, yes, I guess you could say that.
Cool.
I'd like to hear from you what happened.
So, we came in this afternoon for the late shift, right? I
Right.
checked on the factoring line, and it turns out the specimens are nuked up.
In what sense?
They don't match the catalog anymore. Not that they're supposed to be. I figured Baxter nuked it up again, so I checked the feed.
That's when you found the body?
Yeah, but Chigwa won't let me get a look. Told me to get back to work when she called Sal. Hey, can I get a look at the body with you?
I'm afraid not. Official procedure and stuff.
Bummer.
Alright, why
don't
did you
go
give
do
yourself
yourself
that?
a check?
Not just that. There are loads of syndromes. It's maladies, man.
Aren't diseases like that dangerous, though?
It's not permanent, man. We ain't stupid. Wetware nodes in the body create the symptoms of things we want, which you went and broke. Gee, thanks.
Sorry about that. In any case, they're temporary then.
Exactly.
Oh, well, what's the
I
appeal
still
of
don't get
giving
it.
you that?
What's the hook for maladism?
Man, you old folk never get things like MD.
Old?
Most of these syndromes are diseases that are completely curable. They just don't happen anymore. Society says no to them.
So it's countercultural? An act of rebellion?
Why would you
Exactly.
give yourself the
Diseases like
symptoms
that
of a
make the
disease?
establishment uncomfortable. They don't want it to be a part of their society. But we show them they can't ever get rid of it completely.
You're rubbing their faces in it then.
And in another way, it's kinda retro. Illnesses like that are what shape society. The Black Death made Europe what it is.
Gotta appreciate the classics.
For a lot of us,
Give
it's
yourself
also
the
most obvious.
the symptoms of the
Those
Black
are
Death.
the little things like botulism or influenza. But you know someone's got real nose on them if they can stand a month with HIV.
I won.
So, what other diseases have you tried?
Loads of them. Parkinson's, syphilis, tuberculosis. Last month, it was Hansen's disease.
Wait, leprosy?
Yeah, if you're a Zift, Hansen's is the real name.
Sounds like quite a selection.
That's why I came to study in Newton. Eurofed's just starting to get into MD culture. Even talking about banning it. Newton's where it's at for it. You guys are allowed.
That's
to
just
talk about
weird.
What we let people do.
I'm s-
On an individual basis, certainly. That's pretty much the founding philosophy here.
Alright, tell me about Dr. Baxter.
Tell me about Dr. Baxter.
Not much. He only started here a couple of weeks ago. Chico dropped him in the specimen lab and kinda left him here.
She neglected him?
Nah, he just barely left. Could have been a workaholic, but I think he just couldn't focus on anything else.
Did he ever talk about his past with you?
Man, he didn't even talk to me, period, about anything.
What do you
What about
think
the other doctor?
She's a hard ass, but she knows what she's doing. Kinda thinks she feels wasted working here.
What did you think of
Personal
Baxter?
opinion of Dr. Baxter.
He didn't talk much. One yoked up guy. Chico told me he'd been released from jail. Looked like he had a governor in his hand.
That's correct. It affected his behavior?
Dude, that's an understatement. That Malkin was like a zombie. One time, I dropped the whole sample tray in his lab. Anyone else would have yelled at me. He started to get mad, then looked just about ready to puke.
The governor inhibited violent thought. He'd been serving a murder sentence.
Oh, no way. Who'd he whack?
That's confidential.
Man, that's unfair. We're teens.
Okay, so
How do young people go about getting sick these days?
It's a lot harder, but that shows it's a choice. We use wetware to create symptoms, like the aphasia. The wetware I had for that was programmed to lodge in the Broca and Wernicke regions of the brain.
So it's not really Broca's aphasia.
Same symptoms though.
You'd buy wetware nodes from shops?
Nah, find hobby GG programmers through the trans. They're always looking to sell. It's like a contest. They're always releasing new syndromes, competing with each other. You looking to get into it?
Not really my
No.
things.
looking to get into that shit?
Alright, I'll let you get back to your job.
Whatever.
I'm wondering if the governor that was in Baxter's head either sabotaged or malfunctioned and went literally blew his mind. But I reckon. Literally blew his mind.
Aha! Got some.
According to this, he's been dead for 18 months on his case. Good luck.
Still not quite right. Audio file incomplete. Please add missing sectors.
I'm going to need to find where he's hidden the rest of the message before I get any sense out of it.
Okay. Name's Max. Okay. Max Lau. Need an A and an X. X. So that's the X, right?
The biohazard trefoil on these isn't encouraging.
So A's. We've got any A's? They didn't have any. One of these three. We'll do the first two. Realised I've picked them up.
What is this stuff? Better trance up some data on it.
Known examples of extraterrestrial life. X Tizardi was first discovered on the Tizards comet in 2055 by the ART-3 survey probe. Similar in many respects to terrestrial fungi, this is believed to be an example of convergent evolution and panspermia by others. In any case, its extremely rapid growth in Earth's atmosphere poses severe ecological risks. While it is highly sought after for study, samples are closely controlled, posing an obstacle to research. To prevent accidental germination, this organism is stored as a growth matrix, growing only in carefully controlled laboratory environments. This helps to reduce the risk of what some have termed the most mundane alien invasion imaginable. Use a sampler.
I've taken a DNA sample from it.
That's pretty much all I wanted. Because these X wasn't something to be sampled, let's...
I've taken a DNA sample.
Next A on the list was this one. Sample that bad boy.
I've taken a DNA sample from it.
Oh. I have a feeling I know what to do with the growth matrix. I think I need to take it down into the growth lab, stick it in the empty grower. It germinates, grows rapidly, then take a sample. I think. I don't know for sure. Ooh.
It worked.
Nice.
Looks like
This shouldn't have any in it.
Looks like Regis didn't hide.
According to this, he's been dead for 8 months in the hill. Worst case. Good luck.
Your file incomplete. Please add missing sectors. Go see if my hunch was right about growing alien life. Because there's a growth pod, I guess we'll call it. Yeah. So we'll put that one in there.
There, I've planted the growth matrix. Let's hope I got Mom's green fingers.
Control panel says Chamber A, Xenosporans Tizardi, status warning, exponential growth, danger of contamination.
This is the one I planted the growth matrix inside. I only just planted it.
Ah, fertilizer. Grab some fertilizer from the first aid kit. Ink.
Looks like a lot of cartridge.
Potassium chloride, I think was the one, wasn't it? Dead like I know my chemicals. I have no clue about chemicals. And you go. Oh, holy crap. Guess I just needed to leave the room for a moment.
I've taken a DNA sample from it. I hope it doesn't grow in my pocket.
I don't know if I just leave it. Do I have to deal with it? No, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to pretend nothing happened and it was nothing to do with me. Should complete the audio.
Yes!
Lau, if you're listening to this, well, it means they've got me.
Oh no, Regis, no, no, no.
But Lau, ignore anything left in the recording up to this point.
Huh?
Sorry for being so unhelpful with the message, but I had to be sure you were the one who heard it first. Everyone will be saying that I came to the lab to, well, for Baxter, and they might be right. Except that he's been dead since before I got here.
Yes!
We need to touch bases on this case. Meet me where we were both first involved in a case. I'll try to explain when you get here. Good luck.
Oh, thank God. You've got some explaining to do, Regis.
Okay. Crisis of consciousness. Right, who's this dude?
What the hell did you think you were doing? We need her alive.
I saw an opportunity for striking back at Regis, a kind of poetic justice.
At Regis? You've never even met the man.
Yes, but
You haven't offloaded Baxter yet, have you?
Who's this dude?
There might just be a use for your newfound vendetta. The tap on his partner was successful. She found where Regis is hiding. He's an unfactored element. Now, he needs to be removed from the equation.
don't worry. I'll kill him myself if it comes to it.
There's only so much of the city's resources that can be diverted to this. Find him, finish him, then return for offloading. Remember, I'm your controller, not Baxter.
Don't be so sure.
So I got out. I managed to find somewhere to lie low. But I know what Central's capable of. You can only hide from it for so long. Lau had better find that message before an aerostat comes this way. What the hell?
Part of town is full of disused factories abandoned after an environmental catastrophe a decade earlier. While Cell technically has a mandate to keep it safe, the expense of doing so means that it really controlled.
An old office terminal. I'm kind of surprised nobody's stolen it yet.
What got
Someone
thrown
managed to
in?
get this through the window. They must have one hell of a pitching arm. What the hell is
Thermal
this?
bottle.
The bottle is some kind of thermal container, about half full of thick liquid. The words "Drink Me" are stenciled on the side.
Wetware. Dial a number. What should we dial? 911?
Hello. No one is available to take your call. Please leave your message after the tone.
I'm just randomly dialing numbers.
You've reached the Diamond Geezer.
What's this? Central. Evacuation is currently underway by order of centralized government. Please proceed to designated shelter sites. If you have been affected, burns, NBC contamination, please contact your nearest cell representative. Our management. Dear Mr. Hart, while it is clear there are doubts about the firm's policy of mechanization as a means of remaining competitive, it's unhelpful to suggest to employees that they are building their own replacements. Please refrain from such comments in future. Amy Randall. Yes, you're right. Since there isn't anyone changing out of hazard gear anymore, nobody else will be using the locker room. It's going to be one hell of a working weekend. I'll put the stuff in locker 6, codes 381. Ahmed Al-Fadil. Which Zift decided it would be a good idea to run water pipes over a onto industrial laser. Fix the leak in the locker room's pipes, but don't charge the capacitor banks unless you feel like being cooked. These had attachments. By control. There are no charge flow routes found. Please set all charge flow states to ready and try again. Our control systems connected to Traveler.Regis personal system start can now be...
Looks like I can control the factory's power from my Traveler now.
Wanted to do that. I'm gonna get factory power right. Let's drink this, shall we?
It's the fire safety system. Probably hasn't been used in years. There's a canister of water-soluble fire suppressant loaded into the system.
Or let's... The painting of a glowing pyramid hanging over a city. Despite the other decoration that the walls of this office has acquired, this picture remains unvandalized. Can't think of anywhere that the painting would go well, even if it hadn't suffered from a decade of neglect.
One of the city's custodial drones. Someone must have hacked it and directed it up here. Lousy kids can't even do their own graffiti anymore without a bot's help.
Arts I can use.
Must have been a decorator.
I'm gonna drink this. Tells me to.
Down the hatch. Wonder what that did.
Can you hear me?
Hello? Who's there?
Barely, can you hear me?
Barely. I can't see you. Where are you?
In your head.
What the hell are you doing in my head?
That bottle you just drank, it was full of wetware. They were programmed to construct a transceiver in the small bones of your inner ear.
And how long does it last?
It's not permanent, is it?
No, it'll break itself down in a couple of weeks. You have bigger problems at the moment, though.
My location's been compromised?
I'm afraid so. There's a strike team surrounding the building as we speak.
Damn.
We need to get you out of there. The sewer access on the factory floor hasn't been secured. It's your best chance for an escape route.
If what you're saying's true, I'm about to be outnumbered and outgunned.
Don't worry, you're probably one of the few people I know who's smart enough to get out of something like this.
Do you know me?
You could say that. Come on, get moving.
You still there?
I hear you.
So, who are you?
It was my mistake first for drinking that bottle, but how do I know I can trust you?
It's either me or the guys with the kill-on-sight order. Besides, what sort of person would I be if I didn't help out an old pal?
Do I know you?
You should. We've spent years working together.
Is this Lau?
Come on, you've got to get moving. You'd better get moving or...
Talk to her later.
Right, right.
Wait.
What is it?
What?
Cobalt Actual, this is Cobalt 3. Dynamic entry complete. Second floor hallway secure. Going dark and starting patrol. Out.
Adaptive camouflage? How am I supposed to get past them when I can't even see them?
I'll see if I can breach their systems. For now, you're going to have to think your way past.
Okay, this should be interesting then.
Target sighted.
Okay, that didn't work.
If I wander out there, I'm probably just going to end up full of holes. A pressurized fluid cartridge that I disconnected from the maintenance drone. Based on the markings and the color, it looks like it's full of red paint. Whatever's in there, there's apparently 4 gross of them, whatever that means. The wood's old, but I still can't get it open by hand.
Target sighted.
Oh, crap. Wonder if it's counting how many times I die.
I'm probably just going to end up full of holes.
Room is protected against fire by the suppression system. Wonder if it still works after. Oh, I've got an idea. Canisters around.
Fits.
Now. Now I have to get the sprinkler systems to go off.
They're just the sprinklers. The fire sensor must be somewhere else.
The other room, maybe? Smoke detector.
A big old jolt's not gonna make it work.
Okay. I didn't do anything to him. I need to somehow set sector off. Thinks there's a fire.
I guess some things you just have to store physically.
Paper or something in here.
Looks like this guy had a place to keep his vices at work.
Cobalt 3, camouflage compromised.
Hehe. Leave.
The camouflage sure ain't giving him an advantage anymore.
Target sighted.
I was thinking maybe knock him out
I
or.
need to use the fact that I can see him now to my advantage.
Target sighted.
Oh dear.
The fact that I can see him now to my advantage.
Aha.
One down.
However many left to go. Don't count on taking them all on, though.
He's not dead, but he's gonna wake up with one hell of a headache.
So we've got stairway, locker room. 381, locker room 6.
Apparently, it's not just cleaning supplies they keep.
Whiskey and polish.
This is some pricey liquor.
Okay. Crack.
Ah! A metal polish from the cleaning supplies. It's been here for over a decade, but it doesn't seem to have dried out.
Maybe if I use the polish and the drain, no. Thinking I need to block the drain somehow.
Looks like the beginnings of a fine hole in the floor. There's a little light coming through it, and I can hear voices.
I don't have anything else to block the drain with. Didn't actually mean to drink the whiskey.
It's powerful stuff, but it won't do anything useful there.
The drain.
That won't fit. A metal polish from the cleaning supplies. It's been here for over a decade, but it doesn't seem to have dried out.
Polish for. Optics labs. Oh, there's another crisis agent down there. Probably not a good idea. I need to figure out how to block that drain then. I haven't come across anything metal that needs polishing. Maintenance drone.
I can't get it cleaner.
Okay. I mean, if I had a cloth or something, maybe I could block the drain with that. But I don't.
The wood's old, but I still can't get it open by hand. Burning it's not going to help.
Why not? Burning helps everything.
I think they call that a dynamic entry.
That's the hole he made when he jumped in.
It's empty. There's nothing I can use in here. It's rusted stuff. I can't get it cleaner.
Let's just try something. I'm thinking overflow the shower goes through the crack.
I haven't got the gear to fix it, or open it up some more.
Need something. Block that drain. Just save. Yeah, spot me. Try and go to the optics lab, he'll see me straight away and shoot me because it's just down these stairs. So, shoot me. I did. Right. Can't go down there then.
The gauge says the tank's exhausted.
You can't think of anywhere that the painting would go well, even if it hadn't suffered from a decade of neglect, yes. Well, that before.
I guess some things you... The rest of it's decade-old paperwork.
Mix these two things together.
Won't do anything useful there. This stuff will be flammable, but it won't burn in the bottle like this. You still there?
I go where you go.
Okay,
These armed men.
It must be difficult having to escape your own colleagues from Cell.
That's the thing. They're not Cell Crisis Team agents. They're equipped and armed like them, but they're not the real deal.
How can you be sure?
Central has other means of handling the possibility of rogue agents. Its actions are precise, surgical, even if not what we'd normally think of as moral. This whole thing is like a blunt instrument, a sledgehammer for a wasp.
Okay, so you don't think it's Central, but why aren't these men Cell?
If they were, this operation would have been a whole lot better planned. There'd be an ISO map of the building, they'd know exactly where I was to begin with. These guys can handle a weapon, but they're just geared up like a crisis team.
That's an interesting theory. I'll check some leads on that.
Plus, if they were Cell, I'd have a much harder time doing what I need to escape. That's one big laser they've got.
If it's not on the production line, it was probably just used for prototyping.
Looks like someone made a real mess with it.
Probably didn't have time to fix it before the Aurora hit. Maybe it'd be useful if you could power it up again. You'd better get moving or a patrol might catch you.
Right, right.
A bit of cloth is what I need.
Nothing else in here looks like it'd work anymore.
What if I set fire to the picture?
Burning it's not going to help.
If I set
Burning
fire,
it's not going to help. Burning it's not.
What kind of polish was it?
Metal polish from the cleaning supplies. It's been here for over a decade, but it doesn't seem to have dried out.
Can't use the polish on the drone.
I can't get it cleaner. I can't get it cleaner.
Terminal.
I can't
Painter.
get it cleaner.
Painting. It's something to do with these crates then. Something with these crates.
The wood's old, but I still can't get it open by hand.
Now,
It's powerful stuff, but it won't do anything useful there.
cover it.
I can't get it cleaner. Burning it's not going to help. This stuff will be flammable, but it won't burn in the bottle like this.
Pour it down the crack.
It's powerful stuff, but it won't do anything useful there.
About pouring it down the drain now.
It's empty. There's nothing I can use in here. It's rusted stuff.
It's polish, not lubricant, so I'm guessing it won't work.
That won't fit. That won't fit.
Like, there should be a towel. Think. Shower. Towel in here. Prison.
Low velocity, jacketed hollow point. They came prepared for a soft target.
Oh. Okay, I picked up a machine gun.
A 10mm submachine gun, part of the strike team's gear. As a signature weapon, it's encoded to only operate for its assigned user.
Right.
Shame the optic camo's built into the uniform. I could use something like that right about now.
What do I do with the gun if I can't fire it? Can't fire the gun.
It won't fire
Hey,
for
crap.
me. It's a locked signature weapon. That won't fit. It won't fire for me. It's a locked signature weapon. You still there?
I go
Friend
where you
hell.
go.
Why are the power systems in this place still online?
It's only been 11 years since the Aurora. If nobody's switched it on since then, the city's probably just never noticed they were still connected.
I guess the factory's standby would be a drop in the ocean in terms of the city's power.
Not like they're short on it. Newton's a net exporter in the region.
I guess you can do that when you're the only one in the neighborhood with orbiting solar arrays.
If the factory's still working, you might be able to use that strategically.
How exactly am I supposed to get out of here?
There's an exit to the sewers on the factory floor level.
What makes you think they haven't blocked that off too?
This raid was a rush job. I don't think they've known where you are for very long. They're gambling that they can eliminate you before you have time to think.
I hate to disappoint you, but I'm not exactly prepared either.
Yeah, but you've got my help. That puts you kilometers ahead.
How did they manage to find me?
Sorry, I can't help you with
I'm
that.
thinking,
All I know
trying to
is-
work out where I can get
Did you get my
something
message?
to block that drain.
Nah. I just know the kind of places you like to hide in. But your garden wouldn't do for this one, would it?
Hey,
Match that against which of your favorite spots are being raided by crisis teams, and boom. Instant Regis.
so you haven't heard my side of the Baxter story.
Save it for later. First, we've got to get you out of there. You'd better get moving, or a patrol might catch you.
Right, right.
Hours. Train. Crack. Away lockers, away lockers. Get anything else from the
Shame the optic camo's
Asian.
built into the uniform. I could use something like that right about now. That's one way of getting it.
Ah, okay.
It's empty except for all the packing material.
Packing material. How would that work in the drain? Packing material in the drain.
I've stuffed the drain.
What I thought would happen. Now using my traveller to start up the laser system.
I haven't got the gear. It's gonna get a whole lot wetter downstairs.
Problem now. Okay.
I can't get it cleaner.
Ah, but now packing material in here.
This takes me back.
That to make a Molotov. Molotov on the crisis agent. You're kind of bad, but... And he just went straight out the window. Quick look through here. Might not be a good idea to touch him. There's a risk the current might come back on. Judging by the frequency and nature of the warnings around the room, this machinery must have been exceptionally hazardous to the human eyes.
That's not going to work. It's an industrial cutting laser. Looks like they had a little misfire.
Cutting laser control, power offline, emergency cutoff, short circuit and power supply. Select energy input, power grade calibration activate. Danger, unsafe. What happens if I turn it on when it's at that power? The hole. I turned it up a notch. New. Nature. There. Production line.
There ain't much cover between me and him.
I don't think the laser aims up here, but we'll have... Am I actually supposed to do that? I'm not sure. I'll give it one more go. Right one's to come along. I don't think that's what I'm supposed to
There
do.
ain't much cover between me and him.
I'll go. Just in case. Walk straight out in front of him. That was stupid. That was stupid.
There ain't much cover.
Alright, power, hydraulic, solenoid controls locked. Locked. Now I've got to try and get back. Ooh. Did it.
Not from here, I can't.
Roll the arm.
You still there?
Can't get rid of me.
What do you know about this?
Old TVNA factory. Used to make synths there. Cleared out when the Aurora hit. Most of that part of town stayed abandoned even to this day. It's the kind of place lowlifes and thralls hide in.
Anything useful?
A lot of the stuff in it's probably been scavenged already, but you might find something useful. Plus, it's an old building. Be careful, a lot of it is unstable.
Maybe I can use that to my advantage.
You'd better get moving or a patrol might catch you.
Right. Not from here, I can't. Looks like the manual controls for the manipulator arm.
Maybe I have to... Down. Level.
Okay, you're on the factory floor. There's an emergency access route to the sewers in the corner of the north wall.
There is, I saw that. It'll be locked.
Sure, except it's locked.
What? This can't be right.
Yep, big padlock and everything. Any other ideas?
I'm afraid not. The crisis team's got the factory surrounded. That's your only route out.
Guess I need to find a way to get the lock off.
Yeah, I'm going to use the laser, which I have now unlocked. Bruh. Turned it a little bit that way. Let's see what happens. Not a lot.
This is where synthetics are born. Whatever this is, building a synth apparently takes a lot of them.
Okay. Polish the metal disc. Robot arm. That way. Okay. And turn the power on. Let's see what happens.
I'd better not be walking into an ambush.
I can do this.
Have I?
Regis!
It's good to see you in the flesh as well, Lau.
What do you mean, in the flesh?
You weren't the one sending messages through a transceiver in my head?
No, she wasn't.
No, I wasn't.
You thought I was her?
Well, it seemed like that.
Seemed like what? Who are you talking to?
Never mind. You found my message in the DNA.
Eventually. You could have been a little less abstruse.
I had to make sure you'd be the one to find it. Plus, if someone else did manage to get into it...
They'd probably think you meant to meet up where our first case was, rather than where you caught me the first time.
Looks like they found me anyway.
There's why. It looks like she downloaded an interceptor. Even I can see the signal coming off it.
Max, the voices say you've been bugged.
What? Wait a second. Nuke an interceptor.
Can you disable it?
Easily, now that I know it's there. Okay, it's isolated.
I can confirm that. They won't be tracking her any further.
I have no idea when it started writing me. Must have been while I was investigating the murder at the plant lab.
It wasn't me.
I know, Regis. I didn't think it was, but...
But?
You're the only person I can think of who would have wanted him dead. And frankly, I don't think anyone would have blamed you after what he did. But after what you tried to do with the bomber last night...
What about it?
You tried to save his life, even though he'd come here intending to murder as many as he could.
It was the right thing to do.
I've worked with you long enough to know how you work, Regis. What Baxter did didn't drive you to revenge. It's motivated you to try and make the world a better place.
Right, what? Ask Lau? We should do it with the voice in my head. Lau.
Thank you for your opinion, Max. You're probably thinking more clearly than I am right now. What do you think we ought to do next?
I guess turn yourself in isn't an option?
No.
Well, we need to see if we can find out who really did kill Baxter.
And why they've sent a strike team to hunt me down.
If I might interrupt your happy reunion, I believe I may be able to help.
You can? How?
The voices again?
My organization is aware of links between this attack and Dr. Baxter's murder.
What? How?
I believe we must discuss this somewhere more secure. 1181 Shenley Boulevard, Southeast Network, 16th floor. Come around the back.
Yeah, how can we trust you?
How do we know we aren't just walking into an ambush? Can we trust you?
Well, Charlie, I have just saved your life. Plus, we have information to put you on the right track.
All right. We'll come.
Leave Dr. Lau. Come alone.
No.
Pardon?
Lau comes too. She's the only one I know I can trust right now.
Aw.
Very well. See you soon, Charlie.
I don't even know what that said. It looked like a jumble of letters to me. 24 years earlier.
Vargas pulled together quite a team.
I'm gonna, before I carry on with whatever's happening here, save it. I won't call it that time. I'm going to take a quick break. I need to go and I want to get myself a cup of tea, so I'll be back.
In the night, burning brighter still, as our hearts are filled. Every outline of your perfect smile is illuminated in my mind. It's like fireflies in heaven, with you here inside this moment. It's like fire.
Hello, he's back. I have my tea. Right. And I have relived myself. Not quite sure who I'm controlling. I think I'm controlling this one. Yes. What do we have here? We've got Charlie. So this is 25 years earlier. So that's Regis, Baxter, Chigua, Dong. Then I must be his wife. Charlie looks uncomfortable. Can't blame him. It's not the kind of lab environment he's used to. But he's threatening his life. Doctors Zhang and Chigua are in the midst of a fast-paced discussion. With their completely different fields, you reckon it's likely something outside of work. And Dr. Baxter is apparently a workaholic, having gotten underway with the project even before having been briefed. I've got stuff on my desk, just move that around a bit. Good. Right. Microscope. Talk to these people and look at the microscope. I'm going to look at the microscope. Optical microscope might not be cutting edge, but sometimes it's just the right tool for the job. Sound.
4.
I'm not sure.
There we go.
Just worried you weren't going to come.
Don't be silly. Of course I was gonna be here.
I know. I was just afraid.
Hey, there's no need to be afraid of anything here. Unlike your last job, there's no firing squad for motivation. I'm sorry, I didn't mean...
It's hard to believe all that's behind me. Not only do I have you to thank for getting me out of there, but getting me into this role as well.
All I did was mention you to Dr. Vargas. He knew what he needed and you fit the bill. Obviously, he knows talent when he sees it.
Hopefully he likes my work. He can't exactly go to the Texan warlords for a reference.
Well, that's a good sign. Now you're the one making jokes about it.
Okay, so talk to Baxter then.
Hi there. I'm Dr. Pereira.
Yes.
I, thought I might get to know who I'm going to be working with.
Oh, right. Certainly. Adam Baxter.
You enjoying the, MRI scanner?
Ah, yes. Forgive me. It's just been some time since my last lab work. After the accident, no institution would take me. I feel as though I may wake up and have this dream of an assignment taken from me.
Don't worry. Dr. Vargas is an excellent judge of talent. I can guarantee that this isn't merely out of pity.
This is something of a last chance. We must succeed.
I guess this is where they developed the AI. Central.
You must be the famous Dr. Pereira I've been hearing so much about.
Famous?
The way Dr. Vargas has been going on, you must have been his star pupil.
I'm Vicky Pereira.
I'm Victor Pereira. Vicky. Dr. Vargas mentioned me?
Wouldn't shut up about you. Like you were Watson, Crick, and Einstein rolled into one.
Or more like Oppenheimer, perhaps.
Hey, what we did before isn't the key point. It's what we can do with the skills we've brought with us.
All right then, what's your field?
Organic computing, mostly. I studied under Dr. Vargas.
Ah, we've probably got some overlap then.
What about you?
Dr.
Nina Jong, pleased to meet you. AI and synthetic awareness studies.
I remember. Dr. Vargas was a big fan of your work.
He's assembling his dream team. That's what you get with an absurdly huge grant. Not that I'm complaining.
And you are?
Dr. Zhuizai Chigua. My friends call me Gwen. I was brought in from Bulawayo.
What was your field?
Embryonic baseline engineering.
She's a real artist, building new animals from scratch.
Angiosperms, mostly. Still not sure why I'm here. You got any idea what's going on?
Come on, you're the only one of us who's met Vargas in person. Do you have any idea what's going on?
I couldn't help you, I'm afraid.
Aw, you're killing us.
You expect us to believe he didn't tell his star pupil.
Well, I might know. But I know how theatrical he can be. It'd mean a lot to him to be the one to reveal it.
Whatever it is, this is some impressive hardware they've got. That and the secrecy says government work to me.
I'll leave you to it.
Your attention, please, ladies and
Find
gentlemen.
out all about it right now.
As you look around, you will see some of the finest scientific minds of this generation. These minds have at their disposal the most cutting-edge tools available to humankind. Newton has decided, like an increasing number of cities, to invest in AI management. But they want no mere computer to run traffic patterns and coordinate electricity grids. They have asked me for something infinitely more advanced. They have asked me for the future. I have selected you for this venture because I believe that together we can make this future. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Central Project.
871 Cyrus Street.
The place Jinsel said to meet up at. Ugh, what a dump. The city just gets worse and worse every time I leave the trance.
We've jumped then, haven't we? So we're back with this character. I can't remember her name. Expensive looking car seems out of place in a neighbourhood like this. Well protected. If someone felt they could leave it, must be well protected. If someone felt they could leave it on display. Most cars you've ever seen outside of the trance, it appears to be an auto drive. Barely anyone bothers with manual controls anymore. Good riddance, in your opinion.
Warning, warning. You are too close to the vehicle. Please step away from the vehicle. This message has been a product of Sentinel security systems.
Right then.
Ads for everything from sleazy bars to sex to cosmetics. Nothing I'd want, though. I feel like the whole neighborhood was designed to alienate me.
Boss den and a bouncer. The venue's enormous bouncer glares at you with what you believe to be lofty contempt, but you've never been that good at reading human expressions. Talk to the bouncer then.
Hey, no entry.
Why can't I go in?
Excuse me, I'm trying to get into the trance den.
And I'm stopping you.
What? Why?
Maybe I don't like the look of you. Maybe we're full. Either way, shove off.
Hey, well, what would it take
Come
to
on,
get
there
in?
must be something I can do to get in. What do I need to do?
Ha, we get that a lot. Some thrall drags themselves up here, says they'll do anything. Shows how desperate you people are.
Pay you to get
Can
in?
I pay to get in?
I don't know. Can you pay to get in? Exactly. You wouldn't be dressed up in Skanto blue overalls if you could. You ain't even got shoes.
Yeah, but I got skills.
Maybe I could do something for you?
I like 'em skinny, but you look like you'd break a bone if someone looked at you too hard. You wouldn't believe how many greasy thralls try to get in that way, though.
What? No! Ew! No! I meant hacking!
City utilities did cut the water again.
What happened to the water?
Bills weren't being paid. I needed all my quanta to pay off the bookies after Pakistan lost last month's game.
Gambling debts?
Hey, like you're in a position to judge anyone. Thrall. Anyway, Central Utilities shut down the water. Now we can't grow any more wetware.
What can I do?
What do you want me to do about the water supply? I'm a hacker, not a plumber.
The flow's controlled by a terminal in the sewer. I want you to breach it and get my water back.
What's with your arm? It's all metal.
Lost it in the war. One of the wars. On biochem duty. Turned out that because of the shots they gave me, they couldn't just grow me a new one. Same reason I can't get wired either. Allergic to the stuff.
But you run a trance den.
Ain't that just the definition of irony? The arm's great, but the eyes they gave me ain't worth shit.
There's supposed to be a public terminal on the corner over there. I guess because of all the wires running from where it used to be into the cellar.
You reckon I know something about it? You think maybe I stole the terminal, and I'm now using it to run a pirated trance environment for profit?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yes, I do.
Good shot.
can't
Why
you hack
don't
the
you
water
hack
yourself?
You haven't got my skills?
You think a lot of yourself, don't you? I ain't wired. Can't breach systems like that on the go.
Ah, that makes sense.
Also means I got deniability if they just catch some thrall messing around with it. No, officer. I didn't have nothing to do with it.
What's with the antenna? The one under the neon lights?
Not everyone here is a local. Some people ain't lucky enough to live in a city like Newton.
International connections?
Exactly. People in Newton can join this hub through the net. Some states, they monitor the usual net connections, so they bounce their connection in via satellite.
What are other countries monitoring for?
Greater Hand likes to control the news and history. Concord is looking for anti-corporate opinion. Eurofed has strict definitions about what counts as acceptable entertainment.
That's barbaric.
Defeats the point of the net, doesn't it? But thanks to PirateNet, they can never stop the signal.
Oh, so let's see if we can figure out how to sort his water problem out.
What's this aerial for?
Visitors from out of town.
Users connecting from other countries to the
Newton's a bit funny about who gets to log on sometimes.
So you figured you'd give them a hand by connecting them from abroad?
Exactly. Foreigners pay better.
Antenna juts from the wall, sufficiently high to enhance its signal gain, though low enough to hide if cells should make a patrol of the neighbourhood. Unfortunately, this still places it just outside your reach. Got an injector. Empty after giving guys dose. Trance. Can I place with the antenna?
I won't form a connection with it.
I enter trance. Currently nothing to view. Get into the sewers, I think. Interface with the car. I can. Full speed. Yes. I don't think you needed to go that fast. Needed access to the manhole. Hey, whatever works.
It's old and rusty, but still locked. A steel grate, as rusted as everything else down here. Looks like it covers the access to another shaft. I'm not strong enough to open it with my bare hands.
Don't suppose my wetware.
The wetware won't form a connection with it.
Open the panel.
A car repair tool? Probably what they claim it's for, at least.
That will do. Try and sort the water problem out for him. I have a feeling the grate might lead into the trance station. A notification from centralized utilities. A number of toxic, destructive and otherwise hazardous substances have been detected in the city's water supply. Quantities measured are unacceptable. Please download the latest priority list and calibrate your equipment appropriately. Okay. Oh, do I need to read the list? Stuff. Go into trance. In here.
the city's list of current hazardous chemicals to watch out for in the water supply. It's got chemical markers, formulas, and breakdowns for programming scanning tools with what they're looking for.
Substance index benzene, safe level 5 parts per billion, identified 11 parts per billion. Factory discharge. Acid. Plastics disposal. Sewer Street, Northwest 10th, no public transport, no trans connections before our meeting. Hey there, Miss Mandela. Just wanted to say thank you for the assist to sell. I'd probably be off some Han factory by now without that EPI cinculator. Crowbar on the grate. I don't need no. Actually, I've turned the water on. If I speak to him, will he let me in anyway, even though I found another way in?
Hey, no entry. Quit hanging around.
Alright, I'm going.
Hey,
I clicked
no
wrong.
entry.
Yeah, what did you want me to do?
What was it you wanted me to do again?
Will that transing fry your memory? Find the city utilities terminal in the sewer and get my water running again.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Go on, get moving.
Come on, man, I need to get back in the trance. It's important.
That didn't work for the half-dozen other thralls who tried it today. It sure ain't gonna work for you. Quit hanging around.
Alright,
Turn
I'm
the
going.
water on. Do I also need to turn the power on? Turn the power off. Okay. Other way for on. Error, unable to form connection. Reboot node at centralized utility offices and try again.
Lousy city. Damn power.
So that's another way to do it. I could have... I didn't need to do his water. I could have just snuck in. Or turned the power off and snuck in. There's different ways of doing it.
Hello? You there? Where are you?
You can't see me?
Can't see anything with these lousy eyes they gave me. They ain't worth shit in the dark.
Right then, I'll straight through. Thank you very much. We've got transuser, terminal, transuser. IV
He's
drip.
enhancing his experience with a side of intravenous drugs. The IV bag says it's epinephrine.
Have a bit of the epinephrine?
Doesn't work like that. It's for putting stuff in, not sucking it out. Looks like he's made himself comfortable. Hey! Nope, nothing. She looks so starved and ragged. It's people like her that give trancers a bad rep. It's really, really uncool to steal from someone who's in the trance. But I'm in something serious. Huh. She doesn't even have anything on her. One of the trancers is spread out on the foam mat on the floor, underneath all the rusty water pipes.
I rob him then?
Hey. Nope, he's under.
No.
A public access terminal covered in other people's wetware. From the cables running up the stairs, I guess it's been liberated off the street. I can't reach any of its control surfaces. There's a centimeter thick layer of other people's wetware covering its surface.
Okay, so I need to clean it off. I put my...
I can't reach any of its control surfaces. There's a centimeter thick layer of other people's wetware covering its surface. The wetware won't form a connection with it. Hey! Nope, nothing.
I need to clean it. Pipes cross the ceiling, usefully labelled for maintenance. Are apparently tasked to carry water. I use the crowbar on the pipes.
Oh, ew!
Now getting covered in...
Hey! Nope, he's under.
Can be described as dirty water.
I'm not getting anywhere near that thing. I can't reach any of its control surfaces. There's a centimeter thick layer of other people's wetware covering its surface.
Have anything... carry water? Buckets? No. There's wetware over here.
Looks like they're growing their own wetware down here as well. I guess it's so warm and damp. The pirated cultures must love it. Nah, mine's fresher. Besides, everyone else will have been sticking their fingers in that stuff.
I want the bucket.
Nah, mine's fresher. Besides, everyone else will have been sticking their fingers in that stuff.
Eight 7-1. If I shut down the water, except here. Pressure. Not. Already breached systems primitive defense. So to not waste any more wetware, okay. If I go into trance, there's nothing here. It.
It's not compatible. I can't reach any of its control surfaces. There's a centimeter thick layer of other people's wetware covering its surface. It's not compatible. It's not compatible. The city's list of current hazardous chemicals to watch out for in the water supply. It's got chemical markers, formulas, and breakdowns for programming scanning tools with what they're looking for.
I don't have a scanning tool. Yes. Manor.
There's nothing else I can take in here. The rest is just wrecked car.
Lousy city. Damn power. Lousy city. Damn power. When I find that girl... Hello? You there? Where are you?
You can't see me?
Can't see anything with these lousy eyes they gave me. They ain't worth shit in the dark. When I find that girl... Hello?
Out of
Is anyone
reach.
there? Lousy city. Damn power.
These manholes are the way into the city sewer and utility tunnels.
That doesn't help me. I need some way of clearing off the gunk.
When I find that girl...
I turn all the other powers off as well. Turn the water off for that case. She'll touch it. I think I need, if I can. Pipes feel still. Apparently nothing is flowing through them. Get that.
That's the plumbing wrecked. This guy better hope nobody turns the shower on. I'm not getting anywhere near that thing.
Appears to be water coming out of it anyway. And
No way. I am not getting under that mess.
now we'll try turning it on and we'll see what happens. Leak you've created in the pipe along with the backlog of effluents creates a nauseating mess across the walls and floor. Nice.
I'm not getting anywhere. Hey. Nope, he's under.
Still no way of getting this water to that terminal.
This is a lot of quanta for someone to lose in the sofa.
Realise I can mess with the sofa.
There's nothing else in there. Plus, I think I might catch something if I keep touching it.
Credit chip.
Plastic credit chip. For those times you need to buy something without using the net. I can sense in my wetware that it has a couple hundred quanta still loaded. The wetware won't form a connection with it.
Ooh, with the
Lousy city. Damn
Thank you.
power.
Money doesn't solve everything.
interact with these people walking back and forth.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Hit him with a
There's only
crowbar.
so much you can do with a crowbar. Money doesn't solve everything. The chips made a connection to my wetware systems that allow it to be used in the trance.
Right.
The city's list of current hazardous chemicals to watch out for in the water supply. It's got chemical markers, formulas, and breakdowns for programming scanning tools with what they're looking for.
Those are factory discharge. Help me in any way. Is next check connections, try again. I think the next thing I need to actually do is I need to clean that terminal.
Lousy city.
I don't know how. In the car, I can't get to the antenna.
A public access terminal covered in other people's wetware. From the cables running up the stairs,
wetware.
it's been liberated off the street.
Move the pipes again.
No way. I am not getting under that mess.
We turn on all the other water supplies. That make a difference. That flow.
There's nothing else in there.
Nothing more to find in the sofa.
Something if I keep touching it.
Stop touching it then. Take the drip.
I can't just yank it out. I have no idea what that'll do to him. Hey. Nope, nothing.
Go on, yank the drip.
It's not compatible. I can't reach any of its control surfaces. There's a centimeter thick layer of other people's wetware covering its surface. It's not compatible. Money doesn't solve everything.
I want the drip.
I can't just yank it out. I have no idea what that'll do to him.
Want that drip.
It's really, really uncool to steal from someone who's in the trance. But I'm in something serious. Huh. She doesn't even have anything on her.
How about we hit him with the crowbar?
So much you can do with a crowbar.
Oh, okay. Aha. Right, connection box. Block connections from. Got these are people connected. Users online. Fearless Phil, Vomitor, Mossin Nugget, Gandalf, New One, and Spark Wings. One at a time. I interface with it. And good. What?
Das Vidania. Guess that proves where they were from.
Who the hell are these people? Off. Floating head waits in line for the games. His choice of non-humanoid avatar is probably some kind of symbolic self-expression.
Hi there.
What?
Ciao.
Oh.
Fine. Whatever.
Hi there.
What?
What are you waiting for?
If you must know, I'm waiting for a slot to open up in the games. I'm first, though. You hear me?
Sure.
There are social conventions that must be followed.
Are the games any good?
Would I be waiting here if they weren't?
What's up?
Going on.
You must know, I'm partaking in the digital experience. Apparently, more vivaciously than you.
How do you figure? You're just standing, floating there.
Hey, shut up!
You're ahead.
Very astute. And you're behind.
No, I mean, you're just a floating head. Why are you just a floating head?
Because unlike some people, I'm choosing to take the trance to its full potential. We can look like whatever we want. But some people just look like people. Ooh, human body, 2 legs, 2 arms. How original.
I like having legs.
Yeah, it's so limited though. Realists like you have no imagination.
Hey, who are you calling a realist? Is this one of your usual trance spots?
Yeah, it's acceptable most of the time. Mostly because I'm not being bothered by inane questions from plebes.
It looked a little dirty outside to me.
Yeah, I know, it's disgusting.
That a problem?
No, I got my usual spot to crash under the pipes. It's the cleanest place in the den.
Right. So he's the guy underneath it.
Hey,
What do you want?
much as I hate to bring up meat space stuff,
Spit it out.
actually, that's what you might need to do. The sewage pipe over your head's burst.
What? How'd something like that happen?
I've, no idea.
Nuke it. Nuke it. I will not be giving this server any positive feedback on my blog.
Right, so that means he will now be awake, I guess? Or he's left, right. Where do we block next? Maybe our guy in the chair. Ball, maybe? Maybe our guy in the chair is playing one of these games.
A nice game, loser. Hey, how about best 16 out of 30? Ha ha.
Jerk.
Domino and El Mostardo.
Hi there.
Yo.
What's the matter?
Tells me you're not very cheerful.
Huh, that obvious?
It's just that, well, it's a game. Isn't it enjoyable?
Less so when that asshole's on a winning streak, that's for sure.
What's the score?
At the moment, 15 games to 0.
Really?
It's true. That guy has split-second reflexes. But the way he acts, I've got to see him beaten.
Is that guy cheating?
Well, he hasn't hacked the server. Maybe he just spends most of his spare time practicing.
But drugs.
What's going on in this sim?
It's called Gravball. I guess you could say it's a competitive reflex test. Each player has to hit the ball back at their opponent until one misses.
Oh yeah, I remember. This game's 100 years old.
Except it's first person. The ball has no gravity and keeps getting faster. You game much?
Not really. I'm more of a creative solitary sort.
Nobody on the friends list?
Hey, No, not many. Got any more helpful tips?
What, aside from you can't win against this guy? Make sure you don't start your swing too late. Start your swing before the ball's reached your platform.
So if I'm having trouble hitting it,
Try swinging earlier.
I'll give it a shot. Thanks.
No problem.
Okay. Actually gonna try and play this thing?
What's up?
Let's go.
Bring it on.
Damn. Damn.
Blimey.
Damn.
Oh yeah! Another win for Team Awesome.
Let's go.
Can I beat him or do I have to do something else?
Damn.
It does get far. Expecting it to go the other way.
Damn.
Oh yeah! Another win for Team Awesome.
One more try.
Let's go.
Come on.
Bring it on.
Damn. Damn.
What the hell? Oh, the mouse was off
Damn.
screen.
Oh yeah! Another win for Team Awesome.
Go on in, one more try.
Let's go.
Bring it on.
Damn. Damn.
Ow, you almost have to hit that one before you've hit the previous one.
Damn.
I can't do it. It gets a bit too fast. Try once more and then I'll see if I can figure out what I need to do.
Damn.
It's a case of hitting it before. It's almost like a double click.
Damn.
But I was too slow there.
Damn.
Oh yeah! Another win for Team Awesome.
I've got better things to do.
You'll be back.
I will. Only to figure out how to hack you. Let's try and get nuked. Happy hour.
Hey, you got here just in time.
For what?
The end of the world, baby.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Oh. It literally was just nuke. Nuke a city.
What just happened? What is this sim?
Get nuked, man.
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry. That's the name of the sim.
Get nuked? That's a bit...
A bit on the nose, but it does what it says on the wrapper. That's what people come here to do. Get nuked.
I think I've had enough explosions for 1 week. So, what's it about?
The whole history of atomic warfare, baby. If you can think of a time where they've dropped the bomb, this sim gives you the chance to experience it.
Wow, I've seen people make some pretty weird stuff in the trance. I guess I'm not in a position to judge.
Darn straight. Besides, it's not just historical interest, it's for fun. With online map data, you can set it to nuke anywhere in the world.
Okay, well, where are we now?
Beach? Siege of Singapore, 12 years ago. Smack bang in the middle of the Timuhani War.
Huh?
The most deadly atomic conflict in history, babe. China, Pakistan, and India. You're not from around there, are you?
Why do you say that?
Well, you kind of look.
I could be a bald man in my 50s for all you know.
Just thought I'd check. Don't bite my head off. You might have lost family in it.
I have no idea where I'm from. Refugee raised in Newton.
Oh yeah, we nuked them last week as well.
Okay, so who are you?
Fearless Phil. Him over there is Vomitor. I help Leon out by running his nuke server for him.
Are you in the cellar? The den?
Oof, meat space questions. We've only just met. I'm running an open line from home. My mom doesn't like it when I go to it. I mean, I've got my own specialized setup at my place.
What are your
favorites?
My top 5? Castle Bravo, Hiroshima, Singapore, New Delhi, and Vegas. Some Zift came in earlier, wanted Nagasaki. Would you believe? I'm all like, they already did Japan 3 days earlier. Get some originality, man.
Can we have a go at flattening Newton? I'm in the mood to take it out on the city.
Sorry, babe. The server's only running the shareware version. I'm afraid Singapore's all we get.
Why are you here then? You sound like an enthusiast.
Yeah, but Leon, the guy who runs this place, he lets me admin it. I'm in charge of all things atomic in this server.
That's quite an outfit you've got.
You like it? Classic post-nuke apocalypse chic.
You know, there are places in the world that have really suffered nuclear attacks. I don't think anyone dresses like that there.
My style comes from the oldies. It's post-retro. Like, from before there were any of the big atomic conflicts.
So, movies and games rather than actual nuclear catastrophes?
Exactly. The real survivors are so downbeat, aren't they? They take all the fun out of atomic warfare.
So, what's the aim? Can someone win?
It's not a game, it's a simulation. Though sometimes we try to choose scenarios and see who can get the higher body count.
Huh.
I'm winning at the moment. Sarbamba, New Delhi, 2027.
I thought you just said it wasn't a game.
Not all the time.
I have no idea what I'm actually trying to get out of this guy.
Is there any way to change the settings?
Singapore's the only map we've got in this version. Only thing you could do is tweak the bomb, really. And the user mortality setup, too.
That was a blast!
Sure was. You want to go again?
Let's do it.
Here we go!
Okay.
That's odd. This rock has a steel panel bolted onto its side. I can't pull it off by hand. I'm going to need a way through if I want to find out what's underneath.
I have a word with Vomitor.
Hi there. I wonder if he's ignoring me, or whether he just doesn't know I'm here. Trance does funny things to people's perception sometimes.
The participant stares transfixed into the ruins of the city on the... so hypnotized by the assault on the senses that is atomic.
I don't think he'd want that. Hi there.
Hey, baby. Want to join me for the end of the world? Then a couple more times?
This is horrifying. Hundreds of thousands of people died in Singapore when this happened. I don't like to judge, but this is just so disrespectful to them.
Nah, it's all cool. Every copy of this they sell, they donate 25% to war survivors.
But you're using the shareware version.
What's your point?
Is there any way to change the settings?
Singapore's the only map we've got in this version. Only thing you could do is tweak the bomb, really. And the user mortality setup, too.
Sink you later.
Catch you in the afterglow.
Apparently, post-apocalyptic biker was this guy's style of choice. Made uncomfortable by the way he leers at you when he thinks you're not. I have a feeling that one, see what happens. There. Right, I think actually I'm going to call it a night. That's what I'm going to do. 8. No. I didn't even think there's anyone here, so bye. See you all later.